All right, welcome back everyone to another video. Today we're going to be finally doing a review of, let me turn this light on here, this Ryobi pressure washer unit. Now, I bought this thing a while back to do a review for you guys. It's just been so busy, I haven't had time. I actually bought the other 2000 PSI unit and got a review done on that before I got the review on this one done. So I apologize. However, we're finally gonna get it done today. This is Ryobi's flagship 2300 PSI electric pressure washer. This is the highest PSI that they have on their electric line, and it is a brushless motor. Now, from everything that I've heard, this does not have the total stop system where after the pressure is built up, it goes quiet. This one apparently does not have that, which is a bit of a bummer, but we'll see how loud it is and see if it really bothers me. And we're gonna go ahead and, like always, we're gonna grab the pressure gauge and we're gonna test the PSI, and we're also going to test the gallons per minute to see if it's accurate to what they list. So let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed, see what's inside the box, and put it together. First things first, got the back part of the unit. Pressure washer gun and wand. The unit itself, one thing I want to say is that the wheels come on it, and these are way beefier than the other wheels that come on any of their other pressure washers. So that's cool. This pump absolutely looks way beefier. Look at that, guys. That pressure washer pump looks way beefier than any of the other ones. It looks like, I don't know what that's going to be for, but it looks like we have our water inlet and our water outlet right on the same side. Nice down low, and on-off button looks like it's just one solid button, not a toggle switch, but just one button on and off. So that looks cool. Soap dispenser on the bottom. Again, I never use that. We do use the Aftermarket foam cannon. I just did a really good review on a really good unit that I just found, so I'll link it up top for you so you guys can check that out. All right, let's see what else we got in here. All right, so now we have bag of goodies, pressure washer hose. Again, I mentioned this in every single one of these videos that I do on these pressure washer reviews. These hoses are garbage, they kink, they're really cumbersome. And I'm gonna go ahead and down in the description, there is a link to a 50-foot pressure washer hose that is super flexible, super pliable, doesn't get all kinked up and tangled up and everything else. It's double the size of this. You don't lose any of the pressure from the pressure washer. Really good choice. I highly recommend everyone upgrading to that hose. There's two different ones. One's from UBERFLEX, the other one's from FLEXZILLA. I use them every day in my pressure washing, or I use them every day in my car detailing business, and they last, and they're killer. So highly recommend that. Check them out down in the description below. So we have the hose, we'll toss it to the side, then we have a little bag of goodies. Looks like, as usual, little assembly instructions, warranty card, and we got our pressure washer nozzles. So this one comes with, as always, we got the power nozzle, and basically it's just a little oscillating piece inside, so when you're spraying, it kind of gives you a little oscillation out of the water coming out. It creates more of an effect that acts like more pressure, or maybe it actually does create more pressure, I'm not actually sure, but it increases your cleaning ability. Not good for car detailing, but good for cleaning your sidewalks and pressure washing your driveways and all that kind of stuff. Then we also have the 0-degree nozzle. This is just a soap dispensing nozzle. You can see right through it. There you go. So you don't even have to have that. You can just take just not have anything in the little attachment on the end of your pressure washer, and it acts the same as that. So And then we have the 15-degree nozzle that it comes with also. So we'll be comparing these and checking them out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the scene together real quick. It looks pretty simple. I just gotta put that back piece in and we'll be good to go. We'll start testing this thing out. Good to go. And that's it, guys, we're assembled. There's actually enough of a holder here for your power cord, which is nice. The bungee, I guess you can bungee it down somehow. Not my biggest concern. The power cord, I'm assuming is gonna be the same as all of the other pressure wash units. It's gonna be a 35-foot power cord with this ground fault electric plug on it, so you don't have to worry about it. If it gets wet, it'll shut itself off. You don't have to worry about getting electrocuted. Right up top here, we do have onboard nozzle storage. There's actually gonna be 4 places, which is kind of cool. So I'm gonna stick 15 there, soap nozzle here, power nozzle here. Then you still have room for another one. That's pretty cool, I like that actually. And then we can also have a holder for the pressure washer wand, and it actually does fit even all together. Even with the gun assembled, it should fit it, which is really nice. None of the other pressure washers that I've tested from Ryobi have a space where you can fit this all in all together. You'd have to assemble it for it to fit in there correctly. So this one's nice. Definitely more of a professional grade unit. Again, we'll see how the pressure washer is, or the power is and the GPM. But again, right off the bat, the pump looks way stronger than the others, and the onboard storage already is better. And as you can see, with it all connected, fits in there nicely. Doesn't get in the way while you're rolling it around, so that's super cool. Let's see. Then on the back of this thing, you have a little Velcro loop here, and that is where you can store your hose if you'd like. Again, rolling this thing up is a pain, but this should fit. This will fit the aftermarket hose as well, so definitely recommend that. So there it is. Alrighty guys, so now that we have the whole pressure washer set up, I'm going to be hooking up some quick connects to it so that I can use my pressure gauge and test. On this one, we're going to be testing the pressure and GPM with the standard hose along with my 50-foot UBERFLEX hose. Again, it shouldn't make any difference, but just so you guys can see that it doesn't, just to confirm that. But we're gonna go ahead and test this thing out and see how it performs. All right guys, so as you can see, now this is running through my spot-free water filter, but that actually doesn't matter. You can run just a regular hose straight into it. To the inlet, outlet coming out here. We've got the machine plugged in. Another difference between some of the other pressure washer units is usually the GFCI is attached to the outlet, so you have to, it would fit more like this one would, but this one's kind of like this to a normal 3-prong, which is a little bit nicer. You don't have to occupy so much of the space, and it's just a little bit cleaner in my opinion. So I'm going to now go ahead and turn the water on, and then we'll fire up the unit and see how loud it is. Okay, so really not bad. I thought it was gonna be like the whole pressure sound. That's just a relatively loud hum, but it's not bad at all. So I'm totally fine with that actually. as you can see, guys, that's the cumbersomeness of those hoses I was talking about. That's why I hate them. I will hook up the other one after, but for now we're testing it with this. I'm gonna start off with the 15-degree nozzle. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let's try and zoom you in. Try and point this to you a little bit more. So that's 2300 psi on the dot, guys. So it's perfectly accurate there. I'm gonna throw on the power nozzle to see if that changes the psi at all. Interestingly enough, even though this is supposed to help clean better, because it gives you that cone motion and all the oscillation, it actually reduces the PSI quite a bit to about 1500. We're switching over to the 15-degree nozzle again, since that's where we're getting the accurate reading of 2300 PSI. We're gonna go ahead and hook it up to our bucket, fill up the bucket for 1 minute, subtract the weight of the bucket, and then, which this bucket's about 2 pounds, subtract that, and whatever weight we get, we'll divide by 8.33, which is the weight of a gallon of water, to figure out what GPM we have actually coming out of this machine. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and get my stopwatch ready to go. So we'll time it for 1 minute. So we'll go ahead and weigh it up, and then we'll subtract the poundage from the bucket. All right, so just a pure water, we're at 10.2 pounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a calculation of 10.2 divided by 8.33. 10.2 divided by 8.33. There you go, guys. 1.225 rounded up GPM. So that's 1000% accurate out of this machine. Some of the other ones have been really close. Some of the other pressure washers I've reviewed from Ryobi have been very close to the correct numbers. This one is spot on. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to a 40-degree 2.5 millimeter orifice. What that's gonna do is, that's what I like to use when I'm detailing cars. What that's gonna do is reduce the PSI a little bit and increase the GPM, which is what I like when I'm detailing cars. A little more water flow to rinse off the vehicle. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now and test that again. All right, guys, so that reduced it down to 1050 PSI, which I like that number depending on the GPM. So if that increases us quite a bit, usually it puts us up to about 1.5 with other machines. We're gonna go ahead and test it with this one and see if it gets any more. And here we go. that only increased us a pound, so we're at 11.2 divided by the 8.33. And that increased us to a 1.35 GPM. So not ideal there, for car detailing at least. Yeah, with that nozzle, I'm actually getting about that same result from the other pressure washers that are cheaper. However, this one does seem way more industrial, so it'll probably last longer, even though it doesn't have that total stop system, so we'd have to see on that, I don't know. But I do like the unit. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it over to, since I like that 40-degree nozzle, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to that UBERFLEX hose and do one more test to make sure we're not losing any of the pressure or any of the GPM. Just to confirm, sorry, this nozzle's right in my face, but I'm going to test that and show you guys the UBERFLEX hose, and then we'll be done with this review. All right guys, so here's a little side-by-side comparison review of the hose that it comes with, which you can see is a cumbersome nightmare. It is rated to 3200 psi, but when you kink it, if you actually get some pressure to it, it just completely folds in on itself. I don't know if you guys can see that from this angle, but complete kink and pressure. So that creates a pressure point for where it can blow out. It makes it super cumbersome to deal with, just a total pain in the butt. 25 feet versus this is my UBERFLEX hose. And you can see it just, probably shouldn't have, super pliable, super pliable. Try and kink it, doesn't kink. Okay, and this thing's, again, you get twice the size of the original hose, and it's easier to work with, easier to store. You can actually wrap it up, no problem. So I love this thing. It does have the exact same size connections, so you can plug it straight into the pressure washer unit, no worries. It will work with the factory pressure washer gun if you don't want to buy an aftermarket one. Even though I do recommend a little pistol grip one, I prefer it, it's just more control. But whatever, this is the UBERFLEX hose. You can also get a FLEXZILLA hose, also a link down in the description below. UBERFLEX is blue, FLEXZILLA is green, but the exact same material, it's the exact same type of hose. All right, so we've got everything connected. We're gonna go ahead and fire it up. All right, so we're sitting at the exact same PSI. Now we're gonna go ahead and test the weight of the gallons per minute. All right, so let's go ahead and weigh this up and see if it changed anything. Nope. Exactly the same numbers with the 50-foot hose versus the factory hose that it came with. So that's what we're getting, guys. We're getting with the 2.5 millimeter orifice, 40-degree nozzle. We're getting about 1,050 psi, I think it was, and 1.35 gallons per minute. With the factory hose, or sorry, with the factory nozzle that it comes with, a 15-degree nozzle, which has a smaller orifice size, creating more pressure going through it. We're getting 2,300 psi, 1.2 gallons per minute, exactly what they say. So that's it, guys. I hope that helps you. So one last thing, guys, we're gonna check if this unit can be gravity fed. I do have a shop location for my detail business, but we do still work mobilely as well. And I like to just use a gravity fed system so I don't have to worry about an additional pump or anything else. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook that up to my pressure washer my water tank that is in my truck, and we'll see if it can work with a gravity fed system. So I apologize, my truck's a mess right now. I worked all day yesterday mobilely, so I gotta clean this out. But there's my water tank back there. My hose runs right from there out to here. Okay, I'm gonna hook that up to the pressure washer and we'll test to see if it can keep up. All right, guys, so you can see now, before my water tank was pretty empty, but so now we've got it up to here, about a third of the way full. That should create enough downward pressure from the water to make this work now. Just gonna have, especially when you're trying to prime the pump, you need a little bit of water in there to do so. So I like to back it off, wait for water to drip out like that. Good, it's primed. And we're gonna go ahead and see if it works. So far so good, it caught up. I'm gonna check and see how well it works and see if we're losing any PSI. All right, so we did lose a little bit of PSI, but it does work with the gravity fed system. I think if the tank was fuller, we'd have our PSI back, but again, I only filled it up a third of the way. So if you're gonna run a gravity fed system, just make sure you use a big enough tank. I'm gonna go ahead and test the GPM now with it. Because we lost some pressure, I just wanna see what the GPM rating is now. All right, guys, so the good news is that the pressure washer kept up, even with the trigger pulled for a full 60 seconds, it kept up with that gravity fed system, so all good there. We're gonna go ahead and weigh this up and see what we get. All right, so we did drop down on the GPM as well, which makes sense since it's a gravity fed system. However, again, like I said a second ago, since we're only a third of the way full on the tank, that may be the cause of it. So with the gravity fed system, we are operating at 900 PSI, 1.2 gallons per minute. Still fine for a car detailing business. I don't mind the 900 PSI at all for car detailing. I would like the GPM to be a little bit higher, which I think we could achieve once the gravity fed system was a little bit more pressurized from more water. So that is it, guys. I hope that helps. This unit absolutely does work with a foam cannon as well. We're getting the same numbers as all the others, so it works perfectly well with the foam cannon. And I'm probably gonna be setting this up in my truck because I like the way that the machine is, that the unit is built. I'm going to disassemble this guy. I'll probably just take it right off this frame here, and I'll mount it in the truck so that it's constantly connected and everything is good to go there. So just kind of a more professional setup within the truck, and we'll be good to go. So I'll show you guys that down the road once I build this whole thing out again and reorganize this whole truck. But for now, it does work with a gravity fed system. It is getting accurate numbers to what it says, 2300 PSI at 1.2 gallons per minute, and you can reduce that and increase the GPM by switching the nozzle. So once again, guys, hope that helps. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Like the video, comment down below, and yeah, thank you guys. We'll see you on the next one.